Hi everybody. So this is a continuation of the forecasting stock prices with PyTorch video that I did earlier. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is actually building a full stack web application which can retrieve a stock and train a model on it in order to forecast a series of stock prices. So I have this script right here called test.py. I'm going to open my terminal and run it. So that'll be Python 3 test.py. So it's training the model right now. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so we can see the historical stock price here and the green forecast of where the price is going to be in the next 30 days. So so this is matplotlib, but we're going to be graphing the data in plotly once we code our JavaScript front end. So I'm going to come here now and I'm going to let me reset. I'm going to do npx create React app and I'm going to call it FE for front end. So it's installing all the libraries that it's going to need for this project. See, React apps are very memory heavy, like it'll be at least 500 megabytes, but I just love the framework so much because it's powerful. It interacts very well with like a WebSocket or a REST API server. Just takes a ton of time to like install. Okay, so it's set, so now we can come here and open app.js. So I'm going to delete all of this and I'm going to do import React from React and I'm going to do export default class app extends react.component. I'm going to define constructor and set it to super so it's the main thread, and this dot state equals response. This will carry the WebSocket's message. So now I will do component did mount. I'm not going to put anything in here yet, but I'm going to come down here and do render return. Close that off. Why is it giving me an error here? Oh, okay, so I'm going to do react.fragment and then I'm going to write a div. Let me get rid of this. Sample app. Okay, so I don't think it has any errors in it, but I'm going to come to public and go to index.html and change the title of this from React to stock price forecaster. So I got that set now. So I will do cdfe npm start. Okay, so we can see it says sample app, it says stock price forecaster up here. So we did good. So I'm going to keep this minimized for now, and I'm going to add some elements to it. So, or maybe I'll move this over here, test.py, we don't really need it. I want to format all the inputs first, and then we don't need this either. So let me open up the web browser again. So okay, and I'm going to move this to the bottom over here. So now what do we need to do is we need to define some parameters that it's going to take. So from this I could tell that we need let's see, we need epochs. So let me think. So I'm going to write this just like as a comment here. So params equals epochs window output learning rate. What else? Let's just go through here. So days. I'll call this look back days. We need the proportion. So epochs training window output learning rate look back days proportion. I think we have what we need. Let me just double check. Yeah, we have everything we need in terms of parameters. So what I can do now is I can come to this dot state equals response, and I could do maybe I should keep it as this. So I'm gonna come here now and define a new div, and it's going to be, oh no, before I do that, I want to center everything in my app. So I'm going to do center, and I'm going to do stock price forecaster as the title. Oh no, this needs to be wrapped inside a div. So the style is going to be background color of black and color of lime green. Let's just add some style to it. Okay, so we can see that we got that. Now we could do font size. I'm gonna set it to 40. Okay, good. We're good with the title bar now. So now we need to add some inputs. So that's going to be, so I'm going to do break line over here, break line over here, and I'm going to define a table, and I'm going to define table row. So table column is going to be epochs window output learning rate look back period, I'll just call it look back, and proportion of the training to testing set. So I'm going to come here, and now we can see we have these. So I'm going to do, so now these are going to be inputs. So I have to define them up here in response.null. So the epochs will be 1000. I'm going to set some default parameters. The window will be 100. The output will be 30 days. So we're doing a 30-day forecast on default. The learning rate will be 0.0001. The look back will be 50 days. So it's going to do like a 50-day moving average. And then the proportion will be 0.7. So 70% of the data is the training data, 30% of the data is testing data. So now that I got that, I can come here and build some inputs. So that's table row, table column. So input name equals epoch, no, this dot state dot epochs and it's going to have a style equal to background color black, color lime green, and width set to 200. Okay, so this is a little too wide. Let's do 100. And I need to justify this as a center. So instead of even calling this table, I'll just do center, and let's see what it says here. Okay, perfect. So if I come in here and do 3,000, that would be 3,000 epochs. I believe it's text align center. Okay, that's good. So now we can just copy and paste these and do like the same for all of them. Maybe I should make this bigger. So the labels are fine, but I want to increase the font size of this to 20. Okay, perfect. That's good. So Control C, Control V. So it's epochs window output. So this is epochs window. This is output. And learning rate, look back period, and prop. So, oh, actually what I should have done is do epochs. So yeah, I can't code this as dynamic. I need to add static labels to it. So that'll be window. And then this will be output. Got the same thing. Okay. So now I'm going to paste this here. I'm going to call it, so after output it's learning rate, so it's just going to be LR. So that's for learning rate. And then we got look back and prop proportion. Is that what I called it? Yep, look back. And then last one is prop. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to add a row under it that's displaying all of the variables. So it'll be tr and then td. This dot state, or rather, let me just pull these in over here. So constant of epochs window output learning rate look back and prop equals this dot state. So this is a much more efficient way of like loading it. So now we could just come here and go in order. So we could do epochs window output learning rate look back and prop. So now we can see these are dynamic, so I changed it to 1. No. Oh, right. I forgot to add something. So every input is going to have a setting called onChange equals this dot change param. Let me copy this to like every single one of them. So onChange, change param. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here and create the function this dot onChange. No. This dot change param equals this dot change param dot bind this, and then I'll come over here and do change param takes an argument of evt, and it does this dot. In order to update it, it's going to do this dot set state of evt dot target dot name, evt dot target dot data, no, not data, value. So now let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's good. So I'll set it back to the default of 1,000, and let's see if this is like, yep, they're all dynamic, so that's looking good. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make these a little bit bigger. So style equals font size 15, or maybe a little bit bigger, 30, maybe a little bit smaller, 25. Alright, cool, that's just right. So we can just copy and paste this into like every cell here, or every HTML item. I'm not that great at HTML, but I'm decent at React. Okay, so we got everything set here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a break line, and then we're gonna create an input for the stock. So that'll be input name equals ticker on chain. No, I think it's the same way. Oh no, because I have to define a button with it too. So okay, so this is going to be input ticker on. So value is going to equal this dot state dot ticker. Let me go ahead and add ticker to the params in here. So ticker on default will be set to Apple. So we can see that there was an error in it, but we can continue doing this. So style, it's going to take the same style as the input, but it's not going to have on change. On change equals this dot change param. Okay, so oh, I forgot to add like the label, so I'm gonna do div enter ticker. Okay, that looks good. So this is called ticker. So it also has change param in it. Yeah, change param. So now I'm going to go ahead and create the button. So it'll be button fetch data. Put it in a div to signify the next line. Or actually, let me go ahead and just do this. So it'll be break line and then div button. My phone ring or some shit. anyways, let's see. So button, fetch data. I'm going to add another one, so it'll be break line. So now let's style this up. So button on click equals this dot click data. So I'm going to come up here and create another function called this dot click data equals this dot click data dot bind this. So click data ebt. What I could do is this dot set state. Just to see if it's working, I'm going to do response ev. So it'll be response equals uphold const epochs equals this dot state. So response will be epochs. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down here and do this dot state dot response. So if I go to epochs and type in up, it'll be, we can see it generated up. If I do mo, generated mo. If I do YouTube, generates YouTube. So yeah, the button works. So I'm just going to change this back to 1000. So I'm going to get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to change the button around now. So before I do anything, I want to create a socket connection. So that will be so let me get rid of this and click data. But let me add a socket argument here, so I'll call it sock, and it equals null. So, but before I do that, let me style the button a little bit. So style equals background color black, color lime green, font size 25. I'll make it a little less, so 20. So yeah, because like it's, you got to utilize like whatever you can to make a front end look pretty decent. That's why I'm like going really in depth into these like the formats, and it's not too hard with React either. But maybe I'll make this a little bit smaller, so 16. Okay, that's perfect. So now I'm gonna come here and do break line again, and then break line again. So now we can start coding the back end of it. So first we need to create the socket. So const socket equals new WebSocket, and the address is going to be ws//localhost 8080 or 8080, and then socket.on message on message equals ebt equals so this dot set state response json dot parse ebt dot data, and then we'll do this dot set state sock equals the socket. And now we have our parameters that we want to send, so we'll look them up again, like constant epochs window. Well, we need the ticker as well, so constant ticker epochs window output learning rate look back and proportion equals this dot state const message equals ticker epochs window output learning rate look back and proportioned. Now we do oh wait, I forgot, we also got to include the socket, so that's called sock. So it'll be sock.send json.stringify message. So yeah, so when we click the data, it'll send it to the server. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this here for now and then open a new terminal, and I'm going to come to server.py now, and this is where I'm going to build my server. So the first thing I need to do is import async IO and import WebSockets, and then I'm going to create a function called server. No, it has to be async def. Async def server takes an argument of WebSocket and path, but we don't really use path that much. But let me come here and define a loop. So that'll be async io.get event loop loop.run until complete. We got to do WebSockets.serve server localhost. This is our address and port, so port 8080, and then loop.run forever. So it'll be so response will be await WebSocket.receive print response. So now let's open up the Python server. So we'll do python3 server.py. Oh right, we have to go to the outer directory. So this will be python3 server.py. I believe it has started, so what I'm going to do is refresh this and hit fetch data. Perfect, so we can see like every time we fetch data, it'll like print out. But I didn't put it in a while loop, that's why it only printed the first out. But now we could work with this though. We could simply do, so let me get rid of this. So what I'll do is I'm going to minimize this portion for now, because I want to focus on the back end of it now. So it'll be, so let me go ahead and delete this too. I'll keep the React app open, but basically what I want to do now is I'm going to bring this test.py file here just so we can see like how to do the machine learning in it. So now I will import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, import torch, import torch.nn as nn, import torch.optim as optim, and we don't need matplotlib. So I'm going to create the neural net class. Well, I'm actually just going to copy this one. So we got the neural net class, and honestly I feel like I could just like copy all of these because we have it pretty well defined in here. So yeah, let me just go ahead and like define these as well. Save some time, you know, because we already showed how to like code this in that previous video. So I got all of those. Oh yeah, don't. So while true. So input params equals. Wait, now the first thing I should do is response equals await WebSocket.receive, and input params equals JSON.loads response. Oh, I didn't import JSON, so import JSON. So I'm going to test this out again by printing input params. So actually, let me also add that it's connected. So connected to client. Now let me come here and do, let me back out of that. So python3 server.py. And then I'm going to come here, refresh it, fetch data. Perfect. So we got the ticker, the epox, window, output, learning rate, look back period, and proportion. So these need to be converted into numbers. So I'm going to do ticker equals input params 0. Window is going to be integer of input params 1. No, this is actually epox. So window is going to be the integer of input params 2. Output is going to be the integer of input params 3. The learning rate is going to be float input params 4. And then the look back is going to be equal to the integer of input params 5. And prop is going to be the float of input params 6. Okay, so we got 3, 6, 7. Okay, perfect. So now that we have this, we want to let's see what the steps are in here. So we load the data. So I believe I could just do that here. I could so I have the URL and the endpoint and my key. So I could define a function called stock data. It takes the argument of a ticker. So URL will simply be URL, which I'm getting from up here. So URL plus endpoint. But we notice we have 2 inputs in here, so we can do dot format. Ticker and auth for my key, and we need a request function. I think it'll be easy if I just use the regular requests library. So I will do return. Oh no. I will do response equals requests dot get big URL dot JSON, and data frame equals pd dot data frame of response historical, and we return the data frame. So now I'm going to further test this by doing so print stock data of ticker. So let me go ahead and get rid of this, open a new terminal, python 3 server.py. Let me bring back the React app. So that'll be refreshed, connected to client, fetch data. Wow, I have a spelling error in this. What do you fucking know? How did I make that mistake? How did I forget that last L? I don't know. But what I'm gonna do is reboot the server. So I'll switch back out of here, do python 3 server.py. Bring back the React app, connected to client, fetch data. Yep, so our data has loaded. So now we can just go by what's here. So okay, so actually this is going to be easy now, because all I could have to do is do return data frame of adjusted close dot values dot to list reverse, so the oldest prices can be first and the newest prices can be last. So now add metrics takes a look back period argument. So I'll call this close. Let me add a comment. Handles input data, build data sets, data set. And let me go ahead and erase this terminal for now. So it'll be in add metrics we have 4 parameters, so that's why it'll be so it will do, so df equals add metrics close, and model equals model in window times 4, because there's 4 columns, and then the output so now it'll be train test equals train test of data frame, and then it'll be x y equals inputs train window equals window output equals output, and criterion is going to be NN of MSE loss. We can't just copy the whole thing though. There's going to be differences in this that's going to have to do. And let me actually go ahead and code that in right now. So I'm going to call this status. So status or no, instead of status, call it stats. And then okay, so I'll write this as idle, but this is where we're going to be receiving the message. And actually, well, I haven't sent any messages yet, but oh, yeah, because we want to keep sending it messages as it's okay, let's just code this in first. So criterion optimize, let me just optimizer equals optim, we're using the atom optimizer. So model dot parameters and LR equals LR, learning rate. So now it'll be, so this is what I want to send as my message. So maybe oh no, not that one. Maybe what I can do is come here to React, and I'm going to add 2 keys to it. So it's going to be type and payload. So I'm going to do const response equals json.parse evt.data. So okay. So what we need to do is create another variable in here, and I'm gonna call it type x, and it's going to be on default message, and the payload is going to be, oh, actually, if we have we need stats, so payload is just going to be null. So we actually don't even need this response variable. We can just simply do if response hang on, this is going to take some thinking to do. So if response type equals update, we're going to do this dot set state of type x to update. Or no. We'll just handle it in the message. So it'll be, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused about this because it's been a little minute since so it'll be this dot set state. Let me just control Z all of this. Okay, so we got a response and everything. So let me come back here and let me just do this. So this will simply just be, so I have epochs loaded. So let me comment this out, and I will do message equals type update payload f string of epochs left epochs minus epoch minus 1. And then I'm going to come here and do await WebSocket.send JSON.dumps message. Okay, so we're in the training portion now, so now it's going to receive so now it'll be okay, so we can do if response of type equals, I think I need 3 equals, update this dot set state stats is going to be, did I call it the payload? Yeah, the payload. So that'll be pay response, yeah, response payload. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. Let's see how it works. There's an error in here. Oh. Okay, so let me go ahead and boot up the server now. So that'll be, actually, if I could send this, I could send all these too. So it'll be message equals type update payload and this will be inputs processed and then await WebSocket.send JSON.dumps message, and I do the same thing here. So message equals type update payload data frame built await WebSocket.send JSON.dumps message. So now it'll be so this payload will be training model, and I send that message too. And then we have the epochs, so now we can come here and make this one called training completed. So I'll come here to Python 3 server.py, and then let me boot back up my web app. Okay, so now we hit fetch data. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't I did not set the actual React to like display the stats, so I'll come down here. Where do I want to put it? Alright, I'm going to put it right underneath the button. So I'm going to call this div this.state.stats. Is that what I put it in here as? Yep. Okay. So now let me load up the server again. So it'll be python 3 server.py. Then let me bring back the React app. So it's connected. Okay, so it's working good. This is so exciting. Like programming something is just so cool because like you can literally see like what you create in this amount of time. Okay, so that part worked. So now it's time to load in the prediction prices. So I'll minimize this. I will so now we need to do okay, yeah, this part's not going to be that hard to do. So we come back to server, training complete, and then we have so XX history equals outputs test and window, and then with torch dot no gradient test outputs equals model XX, and then down here predictions equals test outputs -1 dot numpy dot to list, and then we have to construct the, so it's going to be, so we have the predictions, so now we need to create a variable called XA equals list range length of history, which are the historical prices, and XB is going to be the list range of length history, but this is going to be length of history, no, it should still be in range length of history plus length of predictions. Okay, so now we prepare the final message. So message equals type data, and then payload is going to be XA, XB, history, predictions. And then we will do await WebSocket.send JSON.dumps message. So that's toList, and these are toList, and then history. Let's just double check history is toList as well. Yep, history is toList as well. So that'll be good. So now we can finally plot the data. So I will come here, save this. Let me close this server real quick. So before we go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one too. We need to install Plotly now. So we come to terminal. So now we do cd fe npm install plotly.js react plotly.js, so we can like visualize the data. Okay, so we got Plotly in, so now I'm going to come here and do import plot from react plotly.js. Let me go ahead and reset this. So now I'm going to come here and create a function called this.plotData equals this.plotData plot data dot bind this, and I'm going to come up here and create the function plot data. So plot data constant hold equals empty list and return hold. So const response equals this dot state. So if response not equal to null, if response type, what did I say over here? So type equals data, we can initialize the plot in here, so that would be hold dot push plot. So data will equal, so this will be a line chart, so it'll be X of response payload. So we don't need that anymore in there, but we'll so X is response payload of 0. Yeah, so this is the first one, so that's XA. Y is going to be response payload of history. And then this is going to be type lines, I believe. Oh no, I think it's lines plus markers, and then mode lines, and then color. I'll do historical as red. So before I get too far ahead into this, I want to make sure this works. So I'm going to come here and do another break line, and I'm going to do div this dot plot data. So okay, so now what I'm going to do here is npm, no. I'm going to open up a new terminal, do Python 3 server.py, and then npm start. So it's booting up with the updates. So it's okay, I think it's got it. Okay, so I'm gonna hit fetch data. So that process works right now, so it's just gonna load. It's training right now, so training completed. Okay, I don't really understand what happened here. Response. Oh, it's because this dot set state. No, not stats. Response. Okay, so I don't need response here, but I could call it here. So response takes response payload. So we don't even need these actually. we can just do Control X. Layout equals title forecasted stock. Okay, so now I could come here, hit fetch data again. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I got an error. List expected at most argument got 2. Oh, okay. So okay, I just have to redo these. So XA is already good. Let's see where. So XB is going to equal the list of range, length, history, comma, length, history, plus length predictions. Okay, so maybe that'll do it. So let me delete that instance. Back out of that. So Python 3 server.py. Refresh this. Connected. Fetch data. Response.payload is undefined. Line 95. Wait, hold on. Oh, right. I don't actually need payload in this because I took it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to make this lime green. So that takes an argument of 1 and 3. Now let me go ahead and run this. Fetch data. And we got it. So we predicted the price of Bitcoin for the past series of time, and this is what it looks like right now. So let's actually play around with this. Let me add a label to it. So, or no, name. So this is historical. And this one is going to be predicted. So let me open up the front end again. Now hit fetch data. Yep, historical and predicted, but maybe, oh, I gotta type in marker color red. So marker color red, and then marker color lime green. So let me delete that. This time let's look at SPY. So fetch data. And we got it. So this is the full stack stock price forecaster. Before I go, I'm going to play around with this more. So I'm going to set the epochs to 1,500. I'm going to set the training window to 130 days. I'm going to set the output. I'm going to keep the output at 30. I'm going to change the learning rate, and I'm going to, well, actually, I'm going to lower the learning rate, and then I'm going to change the look back period to 100 days and the proportion to 0.75. So now I'm going to hit fetch data, so training the model. So this is very weird. This is such a weird forecast. It's because we lowered the learning rate. I'm going to raise it, so let's fetch the data. And it's a straight line, so it looks like the perfect learning rate is 0.001 or 0. Yeah, we'll try this. 0.5. Fetch again. Okay, so that added some volatility. So the lower the learning rate, the higher the volatility is going to be, and the higher the learning rate, the lower the volatility is going to be. So if I do this to 0.5, let's see what we get from, let's do another stock this time. Let's do Microsoft. So I fetch the data, training. Okay, so I will leave it at this, and it's going to be posted to my GitHub so you guys can see the client and the server. The only thing that you'll have to do is create a free financial modeling prep key in order to access like all the historical data. But you just go to financial modeling prep on Google. I'll include a link, and then you can just get your own key and then run this app on that. But yeah, this is my stock price forecaster. I hope y'all enjoyed watching this video. Certainly one of my longer videos, but I thank y'all for being here for me. So, peace out.